I'm here at the International Conference on Men's Issues 2019 with Tom Golden. And so, Tom, how's your conference been?
Oh man, it's great. These are always fantastic. Just to have a condensed group of people together who have similar ways of looking at the world is just very. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. It feels good, and a lot of people meeting each other, a lot of red pill friends being made, and that's what we need more of. We need more red pill friends.
Excellent. And yeah, you delivered a talk on the first day, wasn't it? And
Yes.
you're doing a few panels today
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
So, I mean, I saw your panel earlier today, and it was on the impact of fatherlessness.
Yes.
And I thought it was some great comments that you and Tommy Sotomayor and
Tommy
the
Sotomayor's
other
a
chap
trip.
came up with.
I love
So,
that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so good. And
Nice.
Robert Franklin is just tops. You know.
So it's a bit of a major problem, this
Oh
issue
boy,
of
it's
fatherlessness.
the major problem, really. I mean, when you think about it, fatherlessness is the root of everything. If we had fathers in the homes, I don't think we'd be having the same kind of problems we're having today.
Yeah.
And it's an unknown problem, which is so bizarre, because the research is so clear. That fatherlessness is a huge cause of our problems,
Yeah.
and but no one seems to care. Media doesn't care. Hollywood doesn't care. Legislatures don't care. Nobody cares. The only thing they care about is all the remnants of fatherlessness.
Yeah.
The rapes and the bullying and just about there's 15 things that they think are connected to fatherlessness. There's just about every kind of problem you can have psychologically.
Yeah,
There it is.
yeah.
Problems graduating from school, problems on the job, just everything's connected to it, and yet we do nothing about it. We do almost zero. I mean, it's just nutty, you know.
Yeah, I think it's a horrendous problem, and one of the you brought up some of the points about rough and tumble play
Yes.
and the necessity for
Yes.
this, and also the
So
kind of
critical.
disciplinarian role that
Yes.
fathers play within the family, and just how important that
It's so important.
boundary setting role
The
is.
thing that's critical is that the very thing that fathers do automatically and without thinking, they just do it because it feels like the right thing to do for them, are the very things that we now know are connected to the literature and the research that says this is what fathers need to do, and this is what helps kids to be healthy kids. Is things like throwing kids up in the air. Fathers do that automatically. Every father I've known does it, and we now know that throwing kids up in the air helps them later in life with what's it called, risk taking.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of things like that which we had no idea of before. That fathers are just literally integrated into the health of their children. They're not something that can be thrown out. And basically we've thrown them out, whether it's from the welfare system in the United States, where we only paid the women if the fathers were not in the home, to the family court system, where we're throwing fathers out more and more. It's just happening all over the place. And I think Tommy was saying, and Robert too, is that the government tends to not want to have fathers around, for one reason or another. And so we're in quite a dilemma.
Yeah.
I call it the man-made plague of fatherlessness, because it's a plague. It's literally a plague.
And so with children, as they grow up in the household, and the father often does the role of ensuring, the boundary setting.
Yes.
And it seems that, this affects, as you made this point, that it actually increases the level of empathy that the children have.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's such a fantastic idea.
It's fascinating, isn't it? In fact, the research was done a while back, and it was longitudinal, I believe, and they found that the importance of father presence was 3 times as important as the top 3 factors from mothers combined. So it's like dads are critical with empathy. And what they found was it's the dads who set limits. No, you can't do that. Oh, but Dad, you can do it only if you do X. Okay, no, I want to do it. No. And the dads stand firm. They don't give in. They don't say, oh, just today we can do it like that, which the mothers do. Moms tend to give in. They say, okay, just for you. No. Fathers say, you're not doing that until you eat the broccoli, then you get the ice cream.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and it's this very thing that kids need, because what happens is they've realized that when this happens, when the fathers set limits and the kids follow through on those limits, and the process the kids go through is they start to understand that they have to see the world through someone else's eyes.
Yeah.
They have to see the world through the father's eyes in order to get to the ice cream, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
And so they do it grudgingly. I'll see through his eyes, and it's this very thing, that capacity to be able to see the world through someone else's eyes is at the root, and it's the rudiment of empathy.
And I think it's sort of the kids integrate themselves into the codes of behaviour that are necessary for, needed if they're
Yes.
going to prosper in their
Yes.
own lives.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Indeed.
And I think there's a big problem if the father then isn't present, and
Oh, boy.
there's no codes of honour that the children are integrating themselves into.
And there's really no one that's holding them accountable in the same kind of way.
Yeah.
Fathers hold kids accountable. You know, it's like Robert was talking about today, that they've learned that the fathers tend to parent through the neocortex.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the later part of the brain. The mothers tend to parent through the limbic system. The neocortex is much more problem-solving stuff. You know, the limbic is much more caring kinds of stuff. So it's fascinating, you know, and we need both.
Yeah.
You can't do without moms, and you can't do without dads. You got to have both. You know.
So yeah, with the mums, it's showing the children unconditional positive regard and the empathy and them feeling loved from that, and so experiencing the love of the mother, but also at the same time kind of learning how to integrate themselves into society as well from the dad.
When I was a little guy,
Yeah.
and I had to do my homework.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to ask my father to help me, I knew he was a scientist. I knew if I asked my father to help me with my homework, that I would be there for at least 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
he didn't want me to get the answer. He wanted me to understand what was underneath.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted me to get at what was driving this question, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's the father's neocortex. My mother would help me get the answer.
Right.
So I'd always go to her, got a problem with my homework. I'd grab her because I wanted to get the damn answer to get out and play.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But I really honored my father later when I realized what he was trying to do. And what he did, really, he did over and over again, was he taught me how to think in some ways. He taught me where the boundaries are. He taught me, all kinds of things that my mother could never have taught me. And she taught me some great things too. But dads do things differently, and we need both. You got to have them both. Mm-hmm. And we're in such a mess today because in the U.S., 40% of school-age children are not living with their dads.
Yeah.
40%.
That's massive, isn't it?
Oh, it's massive. And, we now know, too, that our empathy in college students has dropped about 40% since 1980, I think. I forget exactly when they started the research, but it's been a huge drop in empathy. And, of course, to me, it just makes sense that's true because it's a huge drop in fathers.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's really nasty. It's really horrific, and I just see the problems in, like Tommy was talking about, problems in the black community, and I see problems with kids being put on psychiatric medication.
Yes.
And it seems again that a lack of male role models around who are prepared to play sports with the children and with the boys and allow them to play, dodgeball or
play rough.
Play
rough. That's what dads do.
And
it's needed.
And I just think that women that don't really like to do that, and in those situations that they often feel that I need to protect the children, and it's kind of it's not really about that. It's about letting them engage in the game.
It's about both.
Yeah,
it's about both. You got to have dad in there with the rough and tumble stuff. You got to have mom in there. That's enough. Because then you get both sides.
Yeah.
You get both sides, and you also watch mom and dad fighting it out.
Mm-hmm.
Dad says, "No, we're going to do this much."
Right.
Mom says, "Okay, but how about cut it off after X number of minutes?" I mean, so you watch them problem solve. You watch them work it out, and that's so critical for kids to be able to see that. Without a father in the home, you don't see that kind of problem solving.
Yeah.
You don't see that kind of fighting. And, you know, and when I talk about fighting, I'm talking about just agreements and disagreements. You know, and kids need to see positive ways to relate to each other and to disagree.
Yeah, yeah,
Right
yeah.
now, I can't. I don't think that kids are getting that same kind of thing because they don't see their moms and dads fighting it out.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I remember my mother and father would be able to say, well, no, I want to do this. Well, no, I think we should do that. And they'd both give reasons. Then they'd compromise and come together. And the kids would go, okay, that's what we're going to do. You know, we'd sit back and do what they said. But we watched as they were able to problem solve. You don't have two parents. You don't have that.
yeah.
You got
yeah,
Zippo. You know? You
And
got
so,
one side.
yeah, and so you're not really. I guess kids aren't seeing the more logical way of working out
exactly. The
problems
problem-solving
from
side.
the dad, yeah, and
Yes.
instead it's just I guess the empathy from the mum, and then that would I think from that you probably just get really bad social interactions between the kids because they don't have that ability to.
If you get one
to
side
play
of anything,
together,
it's going to
really.
be bad. You know,
Yeah,
you don't want one side of either. And we need the moms, and we need the dads.
yeah,
We
yeah.
need them to work together, and we need them to be able to problem solve, and the kids can watch that, and then they can learn how to do it themselves, you know.
Sure.
But man, we're in a mess today because we just don't have that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I wanted to, because I brought up the problem of mass school shooters as
Yes,
well.
yes.
And yes, from what I've seen, of the last 28 major mass school shootings in the US, 26 of these boys came from fatherless homes.
Yes.
So what do you make of that? And I mean, what do you think the contribution of fathers could be to ensuring that this problem is taken care of?
Well, if the kid has a role model of a father for their first 18 years, I mean, they have a sense of equity, a sense of problem solving, a sense of seeing the way things really are, seeing reality, you know. And these kinds of things help kids. And also being loved by someone who at the same time is going to say no ice cream. You know, your father may say no ice cream, but you know at the time he loves me. He cares about me. You know, and so, you know, both mom and father care about you. And if both these people care about you and they teach you different things, I mean, you grow up to be well-rounded.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we need.
I think there is this kind of a lack of positive male role models.
Oh, boy.
You know, just in
that again.
terms of like actually teaching their boys, you know, how to stand up for themselves and to have that kind of psychological composure, you know, when they face adversity.
Yes.
And I mean, you know, I did see this with the Elliot Rodger story. That
Yes.
he, you know, I mean, like his dad was somewhat present, although you know he was often quite busy making his movies and stuff as well. But it seemed that when he did interact with his son, that it was a really feminized way in which he was interacting, and so. I think one of the problems was Elliot was being bullied at school, and so he was moved then to another school,
Like
and
Tommy
then
said,
to
you should
another
teach them how to
school.
box.
Yeah.
You know, that's what fathers used to do.
Yeah.
So, oh, you're getting beat up? I'll show you. I'll teach you how to box. Or you take them down to the boxing ring, let them learn how to do things. That's what dads do. You know, and moms, like Tommy said, moms run to the school and go, "My child's being bullied. He's being bullied." It's like, you know, two completely different problems or ways to solve problems. Completely different. And you got to have both. But it's good to have a mom who frets. Oh no, my poor son. But it's also good to have a dad who says, "Come on, I'll teach you how to box."
Yeah.
You know? And we're not getting that balance. We're getting this. You know, it's crazy.
And I think just from that, you know, one role that men perform, what you get from that is you know you're helping the boys to grow up with composure, with strength, with mental fortitude, and I mean these are skills that are absolutely massive and just lead to so much in the way of you know a person who's settled and who can actually achieve something in the world. And I just don't see any of that happening if fathers are taken out of the family.
I like your description. Absolutely massive. That's about right. That sums it up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree with what you're saying, and I think that this 40% figure is absolutely terrifying,
It
and
is.
yeah,
It is.
we need to just get more dads into the lives of all of these children.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right, well, thank you for talking to me
It's
today.
been a pleasure.